Alright, let's go into the next game. Let me see if I can find a better place for my face during this game. May have to scale down how big my face is. Wow, they are really excited. So it is gonna be effOrt versus Guemchi in the top left-hand corner. In the brown, that is gonna be effOrt, one of the fastest players I know of. And in the bottom right, in the purple, it's gonna be Guemchi, up 1-0 in the series with a very brilliant snipe build versus Mong. Let's see if he has the same sort of stuff in this game to beat out his opponent. So I'll just go ahead and make my face like a lot smaller. How's that? Does that seem a little bit more manageable to you guys? Is that better? I think that should be good. I don't think I'll be covering up too much at this point. I think it's just weird because we're used to having like really large cams because we're used to having that extra space on the sides of the 4x3. So it's a little bit weird of an adjustment to get used to where how big the face cams have to be in this version. So we are gonna have a PVZ, most likely what has become standard in this through trial of fire over a very long time has been the Protoss will forge fast expand, Zerg will go ahead and take 3 bases, and then Protoss will go into Corsair DT or just Corsair +1 Zealots, while the Zerg tries to defend until they can get Hydralisk. And then the Zerg will take map control with Hydralisk and Lurkers and either try to bust their opponent and kill them or tech up to Hive. And then from that point on, it's basically up to the Protoss player to survive until they have all of their nice tech up, and then they can take map control back and maybe push down the Zerg player. There's lots of finesse to this. There's definitely a lot of stuff we can do. On crossing field, we have this backdoor expansion, which you can see Guemchi's going for right away. Nexus first, so there is a possibility that the players can, there is a possibility that Guemchi can go for the fast 3 base, get a lot of his tech up, and just push his opponent down at a very nice timing. But at the same time, you have to remember this is also a very free 3 bases for effOrt as well. So it just depends on how easily Guemchi is going to be able to actually get that 3rd base up and running, if he's going to get busted down by Hydra timing earlier on, or if he's going to be able to get up all those tech units and kill his opponent very quickly. But effOrt going for the quick triple hatch, not surprising to see at all. But he needs to be careful about that drone. That drone is starting to get low, and probes will always beat drones, but oh, that was nice. He got the extra hit on the probe, so very nicely done by effOrt. He's actually going to be able to put that down. That's very nice, and pretty standard follow-up with the gas and the pool. So the way that I described the buildings in Remastered was Protoss looks really nice because it's all bright and shiny. It's how you expect Protoss to look. And unfortunately, all the races look like that too. So like Zerg is like super bright and shiny, which doesn't make sense because you want buggy invaders. Like they're not supposed to be bright and shiny. They're not supposed to look like they've been well oiled and like buffered like a nice car, because then they just look like plastic. And same for Terran. Like Terran, you expect these like dingy attack vehicles, like lots of oil spills and stuff like that. They've been out in the field for like years. They should have dirt and stuff on them, and they're super shiny and nice, like they've been brand new made. And maybe that's not the greatest design decision, but we are going to be seeing the Corsair come out now. Sorry, the Stargate. We don't know it's Corsairs yet, but it's going to be Corsairs. You never know, it could be that scout. Who knows, right? The blurry stream helps the I can try putting up the source. Let's try going up the source. I've been afraid to go up the source because I've been afraid that it will lag, but we'll try source, and hopefully that will go very nicely. The difference is, wow, pretty astounding. Holy crap, you guys. I was just nervous because at one point in time I did it on source and then had a lag problem. But I think we're okay. Actually, a lot of links coming in for. Are they gonna be able to bust up? Oh, that's not link tight. Oh my god. So actually, this is devastating for Guemchi right now. He's gonna be there are gonna be links in his main, speed links, and they're just gonna be very annoying. That didn't go quite as badly as I expected. I expected both of those zealots to actually go down. And this to be way more devastating than it actually is, but instead effOrt just corners the Lings immediately in this natural, and he's not going to be able to really get them out of here without taking immense amounts of damage. Maybe, wow, he does actually manage to get them out without actually losing a single Ling, and he could actually get them out of the base if he wants. Full scout for Larva, or sorry, for effOrt, blah. I don't know why I said Larva, that was really weird. Very strange that he went for that early Spore. Normally you don't see that from the Zerg player. Usually Zerg players will go for an early Sunken maybe to deal with any sort of zealot, like early zealot pushes or any sort of early aggression, but instead it looks like effOrt is going to be playing mostly against the Corsairs. He's a little bit worried about playing against the Corsairs, and a couple of probes going down, surprisingly more than you would think with just these 2 Lings. That's 4. Is he going to get a 5th one? That Ling has like almost no health, but very well played by effOrt so far. He's still got that Ling in his base and just being annoying for his opponent. Guemchi desperately trying to chase it around, but not being able to. And I would love it if the Ling just honestly just like ran out of that base, because it'd be like the great escape. But obviously not the biggest deal at all. More and more Lings pouring across the map. How many hatcheries does effOrt have? Has he gone all the way up to that 5, or is he still sitting at 4? Looking forward to actually seeing this. Even some cannons going down at the front, so you can tell that Guemchi is a little bit nervous, and more Lings coming up. They're going to get on top of these zealots right away. Eventually, I think these zealots should be able to clean this up, but very good surrounds on these Lings. They're going to be able to take down that Dragoon as well, and without the Dragoon, it's going to be way easier to run around with these Lings. They can't really be caught up to without any ranged units. Chasing down Zerglings with Zealots is... oh my gosh, it makes you just want to rip your hair out. It's awful. So, Templar Archive's coming out right now, and this is not really a position that Guemchi wants to be in. He spent the better part of the last couple of minutes just chasing Lings around in his main, and has had 0 map pressure at all on effOrt. Behind this, effOrt's just been able to macro up really heavily, get up all of his hatches, get up all of his tech, and he's going to be in a very strong position coming up in the next couple of minutes once he starts pumping out all of those Hydras. But actually, more and more Lings pouring across the map. effOrt definitely wants to make a break for this this ramp. He definitely wants to kill off some stuff. And more probes going down. Only 1 going down there amazingly. And the Lings getting caught up with the AI. So that's going to be held off for right now. The first DT is out. Has kind of a weird, funny-looking cape in HD, apparently. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And here's the expansion down the ramp, trying to expand with DTs and cannons. This is not something I've seen in a long time to expand this way. It's pretty weird. And unfortunately, the probe does go down. Maybe this Templar's... oh wow, the Templar! He kills off the High Templar. So big win there for effOrt. He's actually going to be able to follow this up with a big Hydra explosion. Maybe even going for the break at the front. He's got to be careful with those Overlords, make sure they don't get sniped by these Corsairs as he's moving out right now. But you can see he's trying some sneaky stuff. He's trying to get the Corsairs in a bad position and kind of flake them and kill them off. But Guemchi just trying to expand with a ton of cannons and Templar. This is not ideal. Oh gosh, one of the Scourge connects with this Corsair, and this is actually a very smart move. While he's moving across the map, he just makes 2 Scourge, and it allows him to push out across the map without fear of any Overlords being picked off for free, because these Corsairs constantly have to run. So really nice stuff. Oh, by the way, if you guys can hear a train in the background, I actually live right next to train tracks now, so that's awesome. It was very nice when I heard the train go off at like 4 a.m. as I was trying to go to sleep and get prepared for this, but awesome times. effOrt managing to kill off both the Corsairs, and there's nothing left in the sky, so he's actually going to do the full switch into Mutas. Maybe he'll just go for the Beetleist, go for 11 Beetleist, and just try to pick off the High Templar, and then just go in there and win with the Hydralisk. We'll have to see. Maybe he'll just split up his units and go for a push at the front while harassing in the main. Either way, very big opportunity for effOrt to straight up win the game right now. Pretty good Side Storm going down there. It's going to push these Mutalisks back for now, but it's only a matter of time before effOrt overruns this. He's getting his 4th base now. He's probably going up to Hive, and he's got triple upgrades going. It's insane. So effOrt is in full macro mode right now. He's going to have tons and tons of units coming up pretty soon. Even when we can't hear the game sounds, is it worth muting the Korean cast? If the Koreans are a little bit too loud, just let me know, and I can lower the volume of the cast a little bit so that my voice shines through. My beautiful voice shines over it a little bit better. Just let me know in the chat. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult for me to do a sound check by myself unless I like record and then I have to listen back, and I don't have time for that, especially when I wake up 20 minutes before the cast. So just let me know. Chat is always very helpful. And just tons of units pouring across the map. Right now, even though they're even in numbers, like if you look at the supply differences, they're both actually pretty much the same. And so normally you'd say, oh, you know, that's pretty good. That means that Guemchi's hanging in there. He's doing pretty well. But actually, that is not true at all. Usually you expect Protoss to be a little bit up in supply at this point by like 10, maybe even 20 supply, just because Zerg has to continue building drones and has generally low cost supply cost units. When it's this even in supply, that means Zerg has a gigantic advantage. Here are the lurkers up on the ramp. This is gonna prevent Guemchi from ever moving out of his base, and it looks like effOrt might just be going for a heavy contain style. He's just going to contain his opponent for as long as possible while sharking around with these Mutalisks, and just continuing to mass up, maybe even going for the full max. But Guemchi looks like he may have found the one unprotected area by effOrt, and he's actually going to be going through. Wow, this is actually amazing that he found the one place where effOrt is not. But either way, it still opens him up to a huge flank if he's not careful. And this Protoss army is a little island all by itself. Tons of units over there for effOrt. He's moving these lurkers around. He's gonna try to get in position. Is Guemchi gonna try to bust this, or is he gonna wait for more Dragoons? He honestly needs Dragoons if he wants to ever break out of the space. Just pure Zealot Templar, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it at all. So, very good Mutalist micro so far. I picked off one of those Templars, and these units are going to be able to prevent this 4th base from going down. At this point, Guemchi is in dire straits. He's going to need, like, what is up with so few Dragoons? You really... I was actually talking about somebody about this earlier yesterday, that you really have to start adding on Dragoons earlier in the game, but lots of Templar going down to these Mutalisks, and at this point, effOrt doesn't even really care. He can sacrifice every single one of those Mutalisks and just kill off all of the Templar, and there's pretty much nothing left there to actually defend against this. Once these fighters get across the map, I expect that effOrt will just move for the win. This is really, really, really bad for Guemchi. Although his supply has taken a bit of a lead, he lost all of his high-tech units. He's still only on mostly Zealots versus a ton of Lurkers, so I don't think this is going very well for him. His main and his natural are going to start mining out pretty soon, and he has to take this 4th base ASAP, but it's continually contained. Pretty brutal. He's going to try to push up here right now, but a massive flank being prepared by effOrt. He's going to be able to jump right on this as soon as this army gets in position. Meanwhile, these Corsairs are doing a pretty good job of killing stuff off, but they are going to go down eventually. All the Corsairs are down, and there's no more anti-air. A switch into... Oh, very nice Plague going down there, getting all of those units, so even if the game doesn't end right now, it's definitely Guemchi's army is a lot weaker than it really should be. As long as effOrt continues to macro, as long as he continues to make units, he'll be in good shape. But strangely finding himself at a bit of a supply deficit. Maybe he just doesn't have enough hatcheries to actually keep up the production and keep even with his opponent. But Guemchi's going out for a push right now. He's this is kind of a Hail Mary for him. If he can push out across the map and actually get some damage done to these bases, it might be a pretty big deal. But effOrt's just going to go for the counterattack. He doesn't care if his base goes down because he thinks that he has enough production to actually deal with it. And the Lurker is getting in position. This is very nice, but no units to really follow up either. So maybe this isn't the best move without any lings to buffer for these Lurkers, or really do the damage. That wasn't really a very good move from effOrt, and effOrt may be actually on the losing side of this battle now, continually taking some bad trades. He doesn't stop the 4th base from going down. He really needs to gather his units up in a very intelligent way. Finally, we do have the good storms, and he's going to be getting some really nice Lurker flanks in, but at this point, this might have been too late. Guemchi has tons of gateway units, and he's going to be able to push through this for right now. There are a couple Lurkers that are in the way, but with observers in position, he is going to slowly be able to push this down. So very nicely played for Guemchi. He's actually going to push this back, and he's in a very good spot at this point. He managed to get up his 4th base. He's prevented effOrt from straight up killing him. And this is not very good for effOrt right now. He's going to have to try something new. Maybe some Overlord drops, maybe some good Ling run-bys in other parts of the map. But continually running units into his opponent like this is not very good, especially now with the Archons out as well. It's going to be very difficult to actually break this. And more Lurkers going down. This is not good at all. What are you doing, effOrt? effOrt, what are you doing? effOrt's just continuing to stream, you know, like, it's 6 to 12 lings at a time across the map, and it's not really working for him. He's gonna try to do another counterattack, but Guemchi's on the trigger. He knows what's going on, continually moving back into position, and this is getting worse and worse and worse for effOrt. He really needs to take that 6th base. He really needs to start playing a little bit more intelligently than he is playing, and all of these units going down for free, including Defio, that's brutal. That's really difficult to see. This is so weird that effOrt is playing so fast and loose, very sloppy right now. He just needs to stabilize and get to a point where he's got the smart units. But a big flank coming in here with the Lurkers. Unfortunately, there's nothing with them. They're not going to really be able to do much, and all those Lurkers going down for free in the back. A couple more units just streaming across the map, but eventually they are going to get taken out. And Guemchi just playing very well, streaming his own High Templar there. That was pretty sweet, but he does get it. And now Guemchi threatening the bottom half of the map. It's very interesting, the rotational symmetry of this map, though. It allows effOrt to go for this counterattack immediately. There are a couple of High Templar in position. That was a great storm coming out from Guemchi, but I think it's going to take more than one good storm to kill off that many Lurkers. He's got a few more High Templar coming in. Maybe he has enough storms to actually clean this up, but there's a double storm on that Lurker, that one Lurker that's going to clean it up. And maybe he does clean this up with the supporting units coming in, but that's a bunch of Zealots versus Lurkers, not exactly what you want. Now effOrt's starting to finally take control back into the game. I believe he actually crushed an army down in the bottom left, and Guemchi's supply is plummeting. He doesn't have anything to deal with what effOrt has coming across the map right now, and maybe that was the one wrong move that he made. He moved his army out of position, and now this 4th base is going down. Guemchi in a lot of trouble. And effOrt just utilizing the rotational symmetry of this map really beautifully. Guemchi looks like he's going to be going for sort of a semi-all-in to kill off this 6 o'clock base, but with the reinforcements, effOrt should be able to deal with this. effOrt now 10 supply up, going very strong on the macro now. Are these loaded Overlords? We'll never know. We'll never know. Either way, there's some units in position here to defend. The Nidus Canal is there as well, so definitely possible for effOrt to actually reinforce over there, but he is going to be going for that drop in the main, I believe. So once this drop in the main goes off, that's pretty much GG. Tons of stuff dropping into the main, and now the production's under fire. Guemchi not looking beautiful. There's the GG, effOrt taking it while looking surprisingly behind, but he pulls it out with beautiful macro play.